Sudan, the beating heart of Africa, with love and life and development. The River Nile, tropical forests, mountains and plains, rain and humidity, warmth and heat. An estimated area of about 750,000 square miles extend upon the eastern part of Africa, between latitudes 8.5 and 23.8 north the equator, and longitude 21.49 to 38.34 in the east. Sudan enjoys a coastline extend to about 700 kilometers along the Red Sea. It has a common border with 6 Arab and African countries. The first Christianity has prevailed in Sudan, flourished with kingdom civilization of Nepta and Marawi. Worship houses and pyramids were raised in Dongla to recount the history of that era, known as limits of the state's northern and eastern extension in Africa. In mid of the 7th century AD, there came the immigrants envoys of Islam, carrying the light to illumine a new phase of history in Sudan, and to document its values, the generosity of its man. Sudan has witnessed the establishment of the Islamic State of Sinnar, and methods of sciences, values, and regulations which descend on people as blessings and peace, eradicate tribalism and fanaticism, and unite Sudanese petty tribes and promote the one Sudan. The country also witnessed 2 periods of Turkish 1821 and British value. The country also witnessed 2 periods of Turkish 1821 and British rules for a long span of time, till it has inhaled a fragrance of liberty at the hands of the national movement heroes Watahaboba, Abdul Fadil al-Mad, Ali Abdul Latif, to mention but few. Sudan became free and independent in the year 1956, when leader Ismail Azhari has raised the flag high and throbbing. Parties and military governments alternated and held meetings and conferences, resulted in adoption of political system and permanent constitution, depends on its legitimacy on the National Council ratification. As a result, there has been a boom in all the critical areas: developmental and economic, petroleum and agriculture, grazing and pasture, and development in light and heavy industries. In the year 2011, the country witnessed a new phase of political history after Naivasha Agreement governed the Southerners the right for secession to become the Republic of Sudan. As for agriculture activities, we find cotton and wheat cultivation in Jazeera State. Kassala State marked #1 in fruits production. Gadaref State produces Dura, the sole crop consumed by people, and has a huge crop cell, serves in export development. Behind the mountain of Fao and Rahat project, at vast green area with grains and fruits. In the field of water resources, Sudan blessed with the River Nile, crossing the country's south-north, with zigzagging to east and west till it reached hugely in Khartoum, where it became the River Nile after united with Adbara River after 400 kilometers span. In the area of gum Arabic, Sudan is the first and sole producer in Africa. It provides 8% of world's needs. There has been established Port Sudan factories to ease export processes, whereas West Sudan considers the main producer for gum Arabic. Believing in the role of capital in the reconstruction and drawing lines in real production, food factories and drugs and crop mills compete. Kinana Sugar Factory, White Nile, Asalaya, Junaid and Sinar, Asalaya and New Halfa, whose products and fame known in Africa by quality competence according to commerce systems internally and internationally. The availability of natural and human resources has pushed together with the encouraging investment laws many investors to invest in Sudan in different fields. Thus, Sudan witnessed advanced stages in telecommunications, technology, money markets, and bank checks and banks, and introduced education investment services, transportation and health, hospitals built in all states. 26 universities have been established in all Sudan states, which bear fruits of education revolution. The eye-catching cataracts, rivers and forests have endowed Sudan human, diverse realms of arts. Its tunes and melody teemed with the sweet souls glamorously. Its celebrations, rituals connected with harvesting ceremonies and joy seasons, whereas musical groups singing, tickling the chords of creativity surpasses costumes and beats of the dancing groups and that of the shows. Sudan has participated with experiences and sport teams in the formation of the Confederation of African Football and chaired it for many years. Today represents in the competitions of the African Nation, Africa Tournament, Chairmanship and SICAFA. and achieve victories, especially in the field of marathon races, jockeys and horses covered by Niala International Race. Sudan enjoys diverse climates, endowed with people, with arts and creativity, and the scattered tourism sites act like magnet for tourist attraction. For instance, Wakin City, where the eye-taking coast artifacts tell the history of the Red Sea. Jabal Marra, with its cataracts, remains a charming area, and the pine trees at its banks, fruits and greeny panel revive the spirit and fill self-critical activities on the high altitude of 12,000 feet above sea level. In the center of Sudan, which carries Khartoum in the confluence of the advantages of the two Niles, a wonderful tourism activities and attributes, and glamour of artists and companies' activities. All that gives Sudan a magic attractiveness, mainly along the beach, fine boats, hotels, clubs and gymnasiums, museums and green fields.